Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Good morning, La La Land. This is Dr. Erin teaching universal law, spiritual truths, and basically empowerment. Today's topic is how to heal from heartbreak. And God knows I know this topic. So if any of those people that know me out there, I went through a terrible heartbreak some years back with an addict. It was a very, very intense time in my life. And it was also very humbling because I didn't understand how I could fall in love with an addict. It was very dumbfounding. But what I realized was that it was debilitating. It really took over my life. And I had physical symptoms. I had depression. I had PTSD. And I believe that I called in that circumstance to really understand what love addiction is all about. So whether you have dealt with love addiction or just heartbreak, it can be really hard, whether you're going through a divorce or a heartbreak of just, a brief stint with somebody in a relationship, whatever that is. But I know that heartbreak is real from a biological standpoint. In fact, science shows that romantic love is an addiction. There's a study by Helen E. She's a biological anthropologist, and there's many, many scientific studies around love and how it lights up the same aspect of our brain as cocaine and different aspects of it. So romantic love is very addictive from the standpoint of all the chemicals that go on within the body. So heartbreak is real. Yes, it's a mental thing, and yes, it has the effects of the body putting different biochemistry things together. And so when we go away from a relationship in heartbreak, it can be traumatic. So let's break this down. The topic again is how to heal from heartbreak. So from a spiritual perspective, let's get the truth down first. All relationships are eternal. There's no such thing as a breakup in the sense of spirituality. In the reality of the physical sense, yes, the relationship and the physical aspect of how close you are in that relationship definitely changes. But from a spiritual perspective, there's only love and there's only growth and there's only eternal relationship. But from a more reality-based human experience, we have breakups, right? And we can have major heartbreak in that process. So heartbreak is real. It can cause numerous emotional and psychosomatic illnesses. Love addiction is just as powerful as substance abuse, and breakups can be debilitating. So again, I know this because I have experienced it myself. I've watched many people go through heartbreak, and I've witnessed people committing suicide also over heartbreak. So I'm here to reveal the truth, to know the truth, and give some tips of how to heal from heartbreak, because today I can stand here and honestly say that I feel totally healed. I do not have PTSD anymore. I definitely do not have depression. And majority of all mental pictures around that experience are neutralized, and I send love to him. I really, truly know that I still love him at a core level, and I will always love him, and I send love and hope the best for him. Okay? So when someone comes to me to heal from heartbreak, I take it very, very seriously. So grieving is a part of the problem. We want to first take a look at this. So one person would say, okay, so first thing for heartbreak is to allow yourself to grieve. And that is true. However, we have to be really careful and cautious of how we grieve, because sometimes people grieve so long and they energize the problem. The actual grieving itself can become a problem. People can energize and dramatize the heartbreak even more by telling their story over and over again, checking people's Facebooks, driving by their home, gossiping to their girlfriends, and just re-energizing the story over and over again. So you want to be really careful about grieving. You want to have it in a sacred space, and you want to allow yourself, hopefully over time, to only allow yourself certain times of the day to grieve, allow yourself certain times of the day to talk about it with hopefully people that are supporting, knowing the truth, not having it be from a victim standpoint. And because we know that what we focus on expands. So telling the victim story over and over again of heartbreak keeps the incident alive and kicking big time. Okay. So Number two is really, you want to take all mental pictures from the breakup, from anything that happened within that relationship, and neutralize those mental pictures. So all the experiences, all the emotions attached to those incidences, to the breakup, you want to be able to neutralize those. Obviously, if you can find a cognitive therapist, that's great. Or if you can work with somebody like me, a spiritual person that helps you do that through Socrates processes and Greek oracle processes. But if you don't have any of those things with you, it's really important to begin to go into meditation, begin to as is the situation. You don't want to dramatize it. You want to just go over and be with the emotions and release the emotions. Oftentimes, I remember years back, I would literally just go into meditation and think about the heartbreak and think about the incidents and just allow myself to just grieve and let the emotions out, get them out of the body, express them, but not also telling the story around it and re-energizing those mental pictures, okay? So you want to release the emotions, but you don't want to keep telling the story of the good, the bad, or being a victim, or he did that, or she did that, or I can't believe they abandoned me, or any of that kind of a story, any of the beliefs around it. You want to simply neutralize the mental pictures around it. Okay, so because we know that what you resist persists. If there's pictures in your mind of breaking up, of that person, of that relationship, and you resist looking at those, too painful to look at them, you'll resist it, and it will just, the next person that comes into your life, you're going to have to learn the same lesson over and over again. So hopefully you can learn from the heartbreak and begin to neutralize it and get peace with it. Because the truth is this, is that all relationships are eternal again. They never end, nor does love. So oftentimes one of the things that holds people in heartbreak, I'm going to tell you a secret, oftentimes one of the main things that keeps people in heartbreak is that they say, I hate that person, or that person is awful, or they make that person wrong, and they're denying their love for that person. When you truly get that you can be heartbroken and you can still love the person, you release the lies and you can allow yourself to love that person, even though you may not choose to have them in your life anymore, and you may choose to just love them from afar. But we really have to learn that if we don't fully love everything and everyone, at some core spiritual level, we will keep drawing in that dysfunction. The universe wants us to learn that lesson, okay? So how do we do this again? Yes, you grieve, but you give yourself you allow yourself only to grieve with certain places and for certain amounts of time. You need to control who you speak all this out to. You cannot be dramatizing it and telling your story and energizing the breakup. You also need to get in and do subconscious work, trauma work, and get in to heal those mental pictures, release the emotions, and getting back into truth, knowing that you still love that person. There's no way you can't love that person at core level, okay? You can also hate that person, but the truth is that there is love. If there was ever love, there still is love. That is the truth, okay? So today's all about healing heartbreak. So today's universal law is a law of cause and effect. And we know that there's big cause and effect in heartbreak. We chose to get into a relationship. We chose to put ourselves in that arena, whether we chose a good person, bad person, the right person, the wrong person, whatever, lying person, deceiving person, it doesn't matter. We chose what we chose at a core level, at a subconscious soul level. And there is a cause and effect. And for every effect, there is a cause, which is you. We can never be the victim of anything because there's some core level we had intuition. At some core level, we knew, and yes, there are, it's a big topic. Can you be a victim of something? We don't want to go there, but we know that there's a cause and effect of heartbreak, and you can be that same energy that causes heartbreak can cause healing, can cause thriving, can cause the release and being able to love somebody unconditionally from afar, okay? So today's spiritual practice, because every day we get the choice to have a spiritual practice and step into the highest version of self. So find a support group or a therapist that is based in spiritual principle or subconscious work. Please, 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 if you're dealing with heartbreak, you need to get help. You need to get a support group or a therapist or a spiritually based person. You need to surround yourself with people who are spiritually based in truth, not people who are going to energize and get on your rooting team that you're a victim or how awful your ex was. That's the worst thing you can do to to heal from heartbreak, okay? And then today's daily challenge, because we're in this game of life, is find a support group or a therapist. I said that again. That was the daily spiritual practice and the daily challenge. Well, obviously, I didn't do both. I wrote them down the same. So there you go. So sounds like it's divinely perfect. You got to get a support group, got to get a therapist, or got to get a spiritual community that is based in truth, so that you no longer can be a victim. You can forgive, you can grieve, you can release those emotions around mental pictures. And so on that note, you guys, you can find me at drerin.tv for the free app, 30 guided meditations, all the interviews, all the shows, everything is there. It is free. Put your info in and listen to the daily podcast. Refer a friend. Give me a great review on iTunes or Google Play or iHeartRadio, and know that you are love. The only source of love comes from within. It radiates and it reflects back. All relationships are the projection and reflection of our ability or inability to love. And so on that note, I know the perfection of all heartbreak, knowing that is here to awaken to self-love. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and may you live your truth.